Hi everyone, welcome back to Girl Genius Magazine's Pre-College 101 series. Today we're going to be talking about all your different options for the college admissions process. So at Girl Genius Magazine, we know that the application process is super tough, and so right now you guys are probably writing supplemental essays, your Common App essays, writing your extracurricular descriptions and testing and studying, and so we know that one of the things that you're going to be doing in the coming future is finalizing your college list. And so when you're finalizing your college list, make sure you check out our videos about that, but you're going to have to decide which process to apply under. And we know it can be quite confusing trying to find one source with all of that information. So with that, this episode will be describing all your different options when applying to colleges this fall. So the first plan that we're going to be talking about is the regular decision plan, and this is the typical admissions plan, and you apply by early January and you find out by April, and you have until May to decide where you're going to college. And so there are no restrictions with this plan. You can apply to as many schools as you want. There are no restrictions, and there is some uniformity. So for example, if we're looking at California, Cal State applications, they open October 1st and they are due by November 30th. And for UC, it opens by August 1st and it's due by November 30th. And so, like I said, there's no restrictions. Private schools usually open or due by early January, and you find out by April. And for some schools, they even accept applications mid-February. And so you really want to check out the schools that you're applying to check their dates so you have those written down. And you should apply regular decision if your application, test scores, and additional materials will be ready by that due date and no earlier. And so if the schools only have a regular decision option, then that's the plan that you're going to apply with. But you should avoid this if you don't really want to wait until April to get your acceptances. And if that's the case, then you might want to check out the other options that we talk about later in the video, but that is the regular decision plan. So the next plan that we'll be discussing is early decision. And early decision provides an opportunity to apply at an earlier date. It's usually months before the regular decision deadline, and you hear back far sooner. But there's one caveat. You can only apply to one school early decision, and you must attend. It's a binding agreement, and if you get accepted into that school, you have to attend. And so you should apply to ED if you have one clear choice and have completed the application, if I have all the additional informations. And so some schools, they have a reputation for admitting more students with the early decision deadline because it is a binding agreement. And there is a benefit to applying, but you should avoid if you're not sure if you would rather attend another college over the others, and you have to finish your application quite quickly for this deadline. But the one big thing for early decision is that you have to attend the school, so it's good to make sure you're in love with the campus, in love with the environment, the programs, and so that is early decision. So the next plan that we'll be discussing is early action. And early action, it provides an opportunity to apply at a far earlier date, which is like the early decision deadline, months before the regular decision deadline, but you hear back far sooner. And unlike early decision, you can apply to early action to multiple schools, and you have no obligation to attend if you're admitted. And so if you apply early action, you should have completed the application materials way before the deadline, all additional testing, all materials, and you're happy with your test scores by this date. But you should avoid if, again, you would have to race to complete your application in time, or you're able to submit better test scores if you're not happy with the ones that you have before this deadline. And so again, you don't have to attend this school if you are accepted early. So this is much different than the early decision deadline, and you can apply to multiple schools under early action. So that is early action. So last but not least, we're going to be talking about REA and SCEA. And so REA stands for Restrictive Early Action, and SCA stands for Single Choice Early Action. And so essentially two different terms, but the same concept. And so REA, you apply by early November, and you find out if you're admitted by December. You have until May 1st to decide, but you can't apply to any school ED, early decision. So make this choice count. Single Choice Early Action, same concept. You apply by early November, and you find out if you're admitted by December. You have until May 1st to decide, so it's non-binding. but you can't apply anywhere ED or EA. There are a few exceptions, so make sure you research your schools. And so single choice early action is offered by Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and Stanford, and so they may label it as REA, but it's basically single choice early action because you can only apply to one school through SCEA. And so the big thing about this is if you are caught breaking this rule, if you apply to multiple schools, if you're applying under SCEA, you will get rejected from that school that you applied to SCEA with, and other colleges are notified that you broke this rule, you broke the contract. So make sure you're abiding by all the rules. Make sure you are researching the schools you're applying to see if they offer these options, and also make sure you research the rules because some schools may have exceptions to this and some schools may not. But yeah, that is REA and SCEA. So those are basically all the plans for applying to colleges. And so one big takeaway, make sure you guys are researching your own schools because some schools do have exceptions to these plans. So make sure you guys are finalizing, researching, and deciding which schools you want to apply where. And also with the pandemic, a lot of schools are canceling their early decision application, or you can't apply early decision, so make sure you guys are researching that as well. But at Girl Genius Magazine, we wish you all the best for your application process. Be sure to check out our other videos in the Pre-College 101 series, and we're always here to support you guys. Good luck!